Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
We usually take this big, wide-angle lens to history or, tech or philosophy. But today, we are zooming way in, microscopically in,
Well, yeah.
on a transaction that takes, maybe 30 seconds? But it causes just a disproportionate amount of anxiety for millions of people.
It really does. We're looking at a stack of notes and research all focused on language acquisition, but specifically, it's about what happens when the rubber meets the road.
Or when the customer meets the barista.
Exactly that.
We're calling this the coffee shop challenge. And, looking at the source material, the authors frame this whole environment not as some cozy place to get a latte, but as a high-stakes psychological arena.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? Because when you or I walk into a cafe, we smell roasted beans, we hear the music, we see the oat milk.
Yeah, it signals relaxation.
It does. But for a learner, or really anyone stepping out of their comfort zone, the material argues that this environment is actually a threat zone.
A threat zone? That feels a bit dramatic for a place that sells muffins.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But, just consider the variables for a second. You have time pressure, right?
Yeah.
There's a line of people behind you.
Right, always a line.
You have noise interference, the grinder, the music, people talking, and you have a social power dynamic
Right.
where you are the one who needs something.
Okay.
And the sources, they identify this very specific phenomenon that occurs here called the input trap.
Okay, let's unpack that. The input trap, it sounds like something from a spy movie.
It's a cognitive disconnect, really. The input trap describes the gap between your passive vocabulary and your active production.
So the words you know versus the words you can actually say.
Precisely.
Ah,
So imagine your brain is a library.
okay.
You have the books, you know the words coffee, medium, hot, and please.
Yeah.
If you saw them written down, you'd understand them instantly. That's your passive input.
Right. I know what a cappuccino is. The menu doesn't confuse me.
Exactly. But the moment you step up to that counter and the barista makes eye contact, the library locks its doors.
Ah.
This is what some linguists might call the affective filter. When your anxiety spikes, your cortisol levels go up, and your brain effectively prioritizes fight or flight over linguistic retrieval.
So the hardware is working, but the software just crashes.
That's a perfect way to put it. And the physical manifestation is visceral. Your throat closes up, your heart rate elevates. The source material describes a feeling of stupidity.
Oh, yeah. You feel like you're holding up the line, and that social shame just creates a feedback loop.
It does. The more you hesitate, the more stressed you get, and then, of course, the harder it becomes to speak at all.
I think we've all felt that. Even in our native language sometimes. You walk up to order, and suddenly you forget the name of the sandwich you've been thinking about for 10 minutes.
It's the same mechanism. So the whole mission of this deep dive isn't really about coffee, is it? It's about hacking that freeze response. And the methodology we're looking at today proposes a solution that is, well, surprisingly aggressive. They call it the 3-second rule.
Now, I read this in the notes, and I have to be honest, my first reaction was, this sounds frantic.
Right.
The rule is that when eye contact is made, you must make a sound within 3 seconds.
Yes.
But why 3 seconds? Why not take 5 seconds to compose a proper sentence? Wouldn't it be better to be accurate?
You would think so, but the research suggests otherwise.
Yeah.
The longer you wait, the more your prefrontal cortex, the analytical part of your brain, starts to edit what you're about to say.
Ah, the internal editor.
The internal editor takes over. You start questioning grammar. Is it a coffee or the coffee? Do I say, can I get, or I would like?
And the editor is a perfectionist.
He is. And he'll keep you silent. By capping the hesitation at 3 seconds, you're bypassing the editor. You're forcing the brain to rely on procedural memory, not declarative memory.
You're prioritizing momentum over accuracy.
That's it. So the goal isn't to be correct. The goal is to break the silence.
The mantra in the source material is connection, not perfection.
Exactly. If you wait 4 seconds, that silence hardens. It becomes a wall. But if you make a sound, even if it's just, hi, in 2 seconds, you've broken the tension, you've initiated the dance.
Okay, I can see the logic there. It's about signaling your presence. But, we can't just stand there and grunt within 3 seconds. We need actual words.
Right. And this is where the methodology gets really interesting. It strips away almost all traditional grammar. The sources call this the toolbox.
The toolbox.
It's not a list of phrases. It's a set of functional weapons designed to reduce cognitive load.
Functional weapons, I like that. So what's the first tool?
Tool number 1 is what they call the golden key. It's one word, please.
Okay, playing devil's advocate here, isn't that just basic manners? Why is this a strategic tool?
It is manners, of course, but functionally, it's a mitigator. In English, specifically, we have a very low tolerance for direct imperatives.
Meaning what, exactly?
Well, if you walk up to a stranger and just say, coffee, you are technically communicating clearly.
Yeah.
But socially, you sound aggressive.
Yeah.
You sound like you're barking a command.
It creates friction. The barista thinks, who is this jerk?
Exactly. And if you're a learner, you might sense that friction, which only increases your anxiety. By just attaching please to the end of any noun, you instantly soften the whole request.
It signals, I am a polite participant in this society.
It buys you goodwill. So please is the safety net. Even if you mess up the order, if you say please, you're safe.
It turns a demand into a request.
It's the highest value word in the toolbox.
All right, so we have the softener. What's tool number 2?
Tool number 2 is the noun. And this is where most people, even native speakers, fail the coffee shop challenge.
How do you fail a noun?
By making it too complicated. The input trap loves complexity. We want to sound sophisticated, so we try to order a large, double-shot vanilla oat milk latte.
I feel attacked. That is literally my order.
And that's fine if you're fluent. But if you were battling that freeze response, that order is a minefield. There are just too many variables.
So the strategy here is?
Radical simplification. We focus strictly on the liquid. Coffee, tea, water.
Kill the adjectives.
Ruthlessly. The goal is to get a cup in your hand, not to win a barista award. By stripping the order down to just coffee, you reduce the cognitive load to almost zero.
And you free up brain power to focus on the interaction itself, eye contact, smiling, the timing.
Precisely. It's the MVP, the minimum viable product of ordering.
Okay.
And then we need an exit strategy. That's tool number 3.
The getaway car.
You could call it that. The interaction isn't over until you step away. And the source emphasizes one specific word here. Thanks.
Just thanks, not thank you very much.
And this is a great little nuance of cultural fluency. In a busy cafe, time is currency. A long, formal thank you so much for your help actually slows down the production line. You can feel weirdly out of place, like wearing a tuxedo to a gym.
So being too polite can actually be socially awkward?
In that specific context, yes. Thanks is what the source calls fast and local. It signals, I appreciate you and I respect your time enough to get out of your way.
So the formula is incredibly stripped down. It's just greeting, noun, please, pay, thanks.
It's a loop. And the beauty of it is it frees you from grammar. You don't need verbs, you don't need prepositions, you just need those 3 tools.
Talk is cheap, though. The source material actually includes a simulation script to test this. I think we should try to run it.
I agree. But let's not just read it. Let's analyze the dynamics as we go. I'll play the role of the barista, and I'm going to adopt the persona described. Busy, fast, slightly intimidating.
And I'll play the learner. I'll try to use the tools.
Okay. Scene 1. It's the morning rush. The grinder is loud. I'm wiping the counter. I don't really look at you. I just glance up. Hi, what can I get for you?
Hello. 1 coffee, please.
Anything else?
No, thanks.
$3. Thanks.
Okay, pause.
How did that feel?
Honestly, it felt abrupt. I felt like I was being rude by being so short. 1 coffee, please. It feels like a toddler speaking.
And that feeling is your ego trying to sabotage you. Your ego wants to say, I would like to purchase a beverage, but functionally, that interaction was perfect.
Really?
You were clear, you were polite, you used please, and you were fast. The barista loves you.
So the discomfort is internal. The external reality is a successful transaction.
That's it, exactly. Now let's ramp it up. The source material suggests an interactive loop for you, the listener. This is where we test that 3-second rule.
Okay, you're up. We're going to simulate the pressure.
Yeah.
The expert is going to ask you for an order. I want you to say out loud, 1 tea, please.
But here's the catch. I'm going to leave a silence. That silence is the trap. You have to fill it before 3 seconds are up. If you hesitate, the fear wins.
Don't think about the grammar. Just launch the sound.
Ready? Ambient noise is up. Steam is hissing. Next customer.
Hi.
What do you want?
Go. Say, 1 tea, please.
All right, $3.
Now say, here you go. Thanks.
Yeah?
Okay, let's breathe for a second. That silence, that little gap there, it feels heavy, doesn't it?
It's psychological weight. In that silence, if you didn't speak immediately, you probably felt a spike of adrenaline. You probably thought, is it my turn? Did he hear me?
That's the input trap trying to close.
Right. If you spoke in the first second, you own the space. If you waited, the space owned you.
The source material has 1 more level, simulation 3, the high pressure scenario.
This is the stress test. I'm going to speed up the tempo. I'm not going to be polite. This mimics the reality of a busy city cafe where the staff is just overwhelmed.
Okay, listener, the target word is water. Just water. Don't overthink it. Match the speed.
Here we go. I'm slamming a cup down. Yeah, who's next? Order.
Say it. Water, please.
$2.
Thanks.
Done.
Wow. Even just simulating that, I felt my heart rate jump a little. The barista's tone, yep, order. It triggers a defensive response.
It does. It triggers that effective filter. Your brain wants to retreat. But because you had the tool, water, please,
Yeah.
you didn't have to generate language from scratch. You just had to fire the weapon.
That's a key distinction. You aren't creating language in the moment. You are deploying a preloaded tool.
Exactly. And that is how you survive the trap. You prepare the tools beforehand so that when the pressure hits, you don't have to think.
This leads us to the final part of the source material, which is the homework. And I love this because it's not, write an essay. It involves your kitchen.
It's physical homework.
Mm-hmm.
This is based on the concept of embodied cognition, the idea that our thinking is deeply rooted in our physical actions.
So what's the drill?
The instruction is simple. Go to your kitchen, stand in front of your coffee machine or kettle, physically pick up a cup.
Feel the weight of it.
Yes, the tactile sensation grounds you. It pulls you out of your head and into the room. Now look at the machine, visualize that impatient barista, and say out loud, "Coffee, please."
And we're not just doing this once.
Oh no. We need repetition to build the neural pathway.
Yeah.
5 times. Coffee, please. Coffee, please.
Yeah.
You are training your mouth to move automatically.
It's like muscle memory in sports. A basketball player doesn't think about the mechanics of the wrist snap when they're in a game. They just shoot.
Exactly. We're trying to move language from the intellectual part of the brain to the physical part of the body. When the stress hits, you want your mouth to move before your brain even has a chance to freeze.
I think this is such a valuable lesson, not just for language learners, but for anyone who deals with social anxiety.
Absolutely. If we zoom out, this is really about permission.
Permission to be simple.
Permission to be imperfect. We live in a world that rewards polish and sophistication. But in a learning phase, or a high-pressure phase, that desire for sophistication is a trap. It silences us.
We'd rather say nothing than say something basic.
But the 3-second rule forces us to get over ourselves. It says, your presence is more important than your grammar.
Connection, not perfection.
That's the core philosophy. Whether you're ordering coffee or speaking up in a meeting or, asking someone on a date, the hesitation is the enemy.
The longer you wait, the bigger the monster gets.
So make the sound. Any sound. Use the tools. Please and thanks will get you through almost anything.
I am definitely going to look at my own interactions differently tomorrow. I think I've been overcomplicating my coffee order for years just to sound smart.
Stick to the liquid. Keep it simple.
Fast and local.
Fast and local.
So here's our challenge to you. Don't just nod along to this. Go to the kitchen, pick up the cup, do the reps.
Build the reflex.
And as you go about your week, notice the input trap in other parts of your life. Where do you freeze? Where do you know what to do, but you just can't get yourself to start?
And apply the 3-second rule there. See what happens when you prioritize momentum over perfection.
You might just find that the fear disappears the moment you open your mouth. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
See you next time.